What's going on, my dudes? Oscar checking in with an all new Let's Talk About. And today I want to not only talk about a manga that I just got into, but I also want to talk about the artist that created the manga, as they are one of my favorite manga artists at the moment. And they also created a manga that I have a deep appreciation for, that I actually made a video of a long time ago, and I deleted the channel on which the video was presented. I'm gonna see if I can't find the still, that says it was a why you should read, Doro Hidoro. I'm gonna see if I can't find it so that I can share it. And this is her latest manga, and I knew nothing about it going in, so I'm really excited to talk about this, and hopefully you've also read it. This is Die Dark. Die Dark is a story set in the far reaches of outer space. It is the story of 14-year-old Zaha Senko, who has rare bones that can be sold off for a grand prize, as his bones are said to possess magic abilities. He is harassed by anyone from space pirates to bucket-headed monstrosities posing as children. Along for this bizarre journey is his best friend dash guardian, Avakian, who also takes the form of a paggy, which is essentially a backpack or duffel bag. I knew absolutely nothing about Die Dark going into it and assumed it took place in the same universe as Dorohedoro. As far as I can tell from what I've read in this first volume, it does not. I was also looking for anything that ties the two together, but found nothing. Some artists will throw in little nods to their previous works, but I haven't seen any yet. Kinda hoping Q Hayashida does do that, but it's not a deal breaker if she doesn't. Much like Dorohedoro, the world is nuts. The characters are a lot of fun and just so outlandish that it really works if you know her previous stuff or not. Characters have such a wide array of emotions, going from looking absolutely terrifying in some panels to outright goofy in others. This strange contrast works well here, and the tone is pretty consistent despite making otherwise intense characters come off as dorks. One of my favorite characters so far has to be one called Shimada Death, who feeds off the souls of the recently deceased. Kinda reminds me of Noi from Dorohedoro. Similar design, though this being is sort of ethereal, otherworldly, beautifully drawn and articulated. Even the ship that Zaha and Avakian pilot has an AI system that takes the form of what I can only describe as a crystallized dog. Much like Fry's in Futurama, the episode I'm referring to is Jurassic Bark, which still haunts my dreams to this day. If you ever want to see a grown man cry, just throw that episode on. The gore is on point. As always, Q's drawings are phenomenal. I had forgotten just how detailed her work can be, and it took looking back through panels of Dorohedoro to see how intricate Gaiman's design was for that manga. Even here with Zaha and Avakian, and those fools unfortunate enough to cross paths with them, seeking Zaha's bones, we see the malice in their features and the looks of horror when they are torn to shreds and their skeletons ripped from their bodies. Zaha collects their bones to then sell on the black market. Bones are apparently a commodity in this world and fetch a fair price. One thing that I would really like to also highlight is the writing. Gyu's storytelling isn't Hayao Miyazaki or anything, but it is wonderfully insane and funny as shit. You can tell she puts as much effort into the dialogue as she does into drawing her finely detailed panels. If you are a fan of offbeat, outlandish comedy tropes, this story has them aplenty. Since this is a story that takes place in outer space, there is a part where our leads are sucked into a black hole, and the experience of being crushed, every molecule torn apart, is described in explicit detail. Q's characters chew up the scenery, and no panel ever feels wasted. The world is lived in and worn, desolate, Mad Max in outer space. There is always some detail or other that seems random, and while it might just be that, it somehow works. Androgynous characters have reveals that are beautiful six-eyed women. The ship's AI dog has a USB port in his asshole that connects him to the ship's mainframe. Zaha's favorite food is a sandwich made of spaghetti. There is a great imagination involved here to formulate this world, and I have loved every second of it. I can't wait to see what else Q has up her sleeve in the following volumes to come, and I wonder if this will also get an anime adaptation. This feels like it might be geared to a slightly younger audience, as there is no real nudity, no nipples, and though there is cursing, it isn't over the top. It is gruesome though, as one might expect from dark, gritty fantasy such as Die Dark. I hope you'll check this series out if you haven't already. I'm personally dying to sink my rabid, foamy teeth into this next volume, Volume 2, which I personally think is going to be a lot of fun and continue with what Q started out with in this first volume. And though volumes of this manga are pretty difficult to come across, the first volume has pretty much been sold out for a long time. But if you can get your hands on it, that would be phenomenal. And definitely check it out in physical if you can. Whenever I do these, I try not to say too much, though I do like to show panels because I feel like it gives you an idea of like what you're getting into, like what the story is going to be about and where it's kind of leading. And this was one that I really enjoyed quite a bit. I hope that you will also want to check it out. I've only read this first volume so far. I actually also have volume 2 right here, so I'm going to be kicking this up next. I think volume 3 is coming out maybe in the next couple of months. I think November or something. Volume 3 will come out, but I have volume 2 here, and I'm going to be starting this pretty soon. So yeah, I have these 2 volumes. It was really difficult to track down volume 1 because it sold out so fast, and that's been happening a lot lately. I've noticed that, like, I think a lot more people now are getting into manga than ever before. Like, I've been into it myself for a long time, but I just never really collected a lot of it. I read a lot of it online for a lot of years. You know, like I've been reading Gleipnir online for a long time. Like I buy the digital version of Gleipnir, so I don't have it on either of my shelves. Like it's not on this one, and it's not on my other shelf that's behind my camera. But I do that sometimes. There's certain manga just because like I didn't want to collect too much stuff. But it was more recently that I kind of just decided why the hell not. So I might end up at some point picking up the physical volumes of Gleipnir, even though they are really difficult to find now. I think like the first 6 volumes of it are as hard to find as fucking Chainsaw Man. But luckily I've ordered Chainsaw Man every step of the way, every time a new volume. I even pre-ordered the first volume of Chainsaw Man just because I'd read the digital on Viz Media. Yeah, so this is something that like I saw that Q Hayashida was releasing a new manga after her acclaimed series Dorohedoro, which is also turned into a Netflix series that I also watched. I think it was like 12, 13 episodes, and I loved it. It was really good, and I'd done my why you should read Dorohedoro video ahead of the series, just because I wanted people to read the manga. But like I said, I deleted everything I had for that initial channel, and that was kind of a weirder channel because I was doing like reactions to stuff. And like I kind of realized that I didn't want to do that, but I figured, you know, why the hell not? And it just ended up not working out, and it became too much of a hassle to keep up with it, and you know, like juggling the multiple things that I was doing with that channel. So I took it apart, and then I started all over again doing this one, and I like the rhythm that I have here much more. And like I just wanted to talk about this mangaka because I think she is such a talent. I love everything that she does. I also have the first volume of Dorohedoro right here, so I wanted to share this with you guys. I remember reading this in like 2015. I remember reading this like when I was on my lunch breaks at work or whatever. I would just crack this open. The digital because I didn't have the physical. I've just recently started collecting the physical volumes of Dorohedoro, and it's such a beautiful manga. Like, and from what I've read, and I don't know if it's true or not because like I haven't really done a lot of research into it, is that she was an assistant to Hiei, who did Blam, and he also did Biomega, which I have on the shelf. You can see in the background there. I have Biomega. I don't have anything else by him. I don't have Knights of Sidonia or any of that stuff. I know I talk about that dude in like every one of my videos. It feels like I mention Hiei in like all of my videos, but yeah, like I love her artwork, and you can kind of see the influence. I want to say that you can see the influence that like working for him had on her art, because some of her stuff is like really pitch black. I'm trying to find a panel that I could show you where like you can see how dark her art can be. Like she uses a lot of like really dark shading, really like black colors, and I think that's cool, and it kind of reminds me of like of his work because he does use a lot of like dark colors in Biomega. I haven't read Blam, but I did read Biomega, and there are like a lot of like darker shades or whatever in that manga. And his style is really gritty. And like I said, I'm not sure if it's just that particular manga or if his style just in general is dark and gritty. That kind of made me think of that, and it makes sense that she would be his assistant, would have been his assistant at one point in time. But I just want to celebrate her work. I think that having this being her first or as a breakout, and for it to be as celebrated as it is, that's incredible because it is such a good manga, and like the characters in it are all memorable. I love all of it. I remember like just reading it online, and the whole premise of it was just so bizarre, and it worked really well. It's like this dystopian, futuristic. I don't even want to call it futuristic. It's like this dystopian kind of wizard world, and wizards are just all fucking assholes, So like it's just great that you have this one side, these people that live in this place called Hole, that are tortured constantly by sorcerers that come that come through doors or whatever. They go and they experiment on the people of Hole. I read a lot of it. I haven't finished it. I may go back. I need to actually go back and read the rest of Dorohedoro and just finish that series. But I'm excited to get Dai Dark going and read this, as it's pretty much like a developing story. It's still being made. The third volume is just barely about to be released in English. I don't know how far it is in Japanese, or if she's doing like single issues that are released monthly in magazines. Like I think Dorohedoro was released monthly in magazines or whatever. But I'm really liking this story so far, and it's definitely her signature style. The characters are all so crazy, just so bananas, and she has such a great way of designing her characters, and they're all so goofy. Like I said in the voiceover when I was showing the panels. So yeah, just kind of wanted to shout her out and just kind of celebrate the work that she's done. Between these two series, because I think they are both incredible, and I can't wait to see how this will unfold because it's so different than Dorohedoro. Well, it's not completely different, it's just that like this dude, like Kaiman with the crocodile head, and then there's Senko Zaha, or no, Zaha Senko. I said his name all backwards. So yeah, I look forward to what comes next in this series. Like I said, I haven't even started reading the second volume yet. I probably won't say much more about the series unless it gets like a fucking anime adaptation or something, or if it ends and then I do a why you should read, or maybe I'll just even do a why you should read at some point just for the hell of it, just to kind of talk more about Dai Dark. But right now I'm just gonna do a let's talk about, because I haven't read enough of it to recommend it to anybody. I just wanted to talk about the series. I like bringing up different artists, and since this is out now, it just didn't really make a lot of sense for me to do another why you should read Dorohedoro when I already done one. And at this point, with this new workout, I feel like it just makes more sense to talk about the newest thing that she has working. I've also been diligently collecting 20th Century Boys. I have volumes 1, 3, 4, and 5 currently, and I'm collecting all of it. I'm hunting it all down. So yeah, there's volume 1. Once I kick this series off, I'll do a let's talk about. I know he's done Vagabond. He did Monster as well. So I'm really looking forward to reading Urasawa's 20th Century Boys. I know he's a legend. There's a video of him and Juji Ito, and they're kind of reviewing Ito's work, and it's a really fun video, really funny. They're both. I didn't realize how funny Juji Ito actually was, because I was just kind of looked at him as like this kind of professor-looking dude, and like I have like a bunch of Juji Ito books up here. You can kind of see them. So yeah, that's all I got. I want to say thank you for watching. This has been my manga corner. I just like have all these volumes that I have to put away now, but Thank you so much for sitting down and watching this. I know this one got kind of lengthy because I decided to go on kind of a little rant and praise Q Hayashida. But I think she deserves that praise, and she's definitely receiving it, and I think everybody should go out of their way to read her work. So that's all I have for you. My name is Oscar. Thank you so much for watching this video. I know you didn't have to. You could have done literally anything else with your day. You could have walked your dog, or fed your cat, done something productive. Got your teeth cleaned, your teeth whitened or something. Spent some time with your family, but instead you chose to spend that time with me, and I am extremely grateful. I have so much more content. Hopefully soon I will be dropping my Fire Punch video. I decided that I'm going to split it into 2 videos because it is a huge undertaking and that is kicking every inch of my ass. And I was pretentious enough to think that I could do a video and encapsulate all of Fire Punch. So I have no idea what the hell's going on with that project, but hopefully soon I will be dropping it. That is it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Please take care of yourselves, take care of your families, take care of everyone you love. Do not get sick. It fucking sucks being sick. And that's all we'll say about that. Until next time, thank you so much.
How you feel when you sippin' on drip in the whip? Haters talking shit, but I stay rollin' lit. Stay holding splits, man, I crave poppin' pills. Sluggish on the drink, bitch, I'm chugging refills.